So round number 3, we've had a couple of rounds where Rogue have showed they're very strong on their attack. That's why they're 2-0 up. They're very good at cutting off rotations. They tend to take control of areas such as admin and then cut off via the hatch into Visa, and that's how they got the final kill in the previous round. Hyper keeps falling into their hands and losing players on the roam. They're trying to roam. Hyper, they're forcing this roam and doesn't seem to be working. So that's a bit of context to look into this. Also, Rogue in the past have been using this Glaz and their other utility, their very forceful utility, very well to execute, which is the reason they're bringing that utility, the Dokkaebi and the Glaz. It's for their execute. So that's pretty much covers the lineup. No Thermite banned, and yet still Slash is bringing the Maverick instead of it, ensuring that we've got 2 hard breaches is pretty good. You know, Hibana's not always enough attacking the basement, which is where they're attacking this round. But again, Thermite, pretty useless on the top floor. That explains why that is, and I mean, I feel like I don't need to talk about this Zephyr. Utility powerhouse, cutting out ADSs, soft breach, concussions, all-around package. As for the defense, pretty roam-centric, I should say, having 3 speeds. I mean, it's not an anomaly by any means, and both Jaeger and Bandit can simply be taken to the utility, but in this case, Hyper have been roaming a lot. Maestro, obviously, just very meta at the moment, very strong as an anchor, lots of intel gathering and some plant denial as well, in combination with the smoke especially. They do tend to complement each other.
5 seconds to go.
But it's really Rogue's attack that's going to need to take focus this round, because, spoiler alert, they lose it for the first time in this game. They decide to keep changing things up, including their operator lineup. Not bringing a Capitao this time around, instead still bringing the Dokkaebi that I tend to be a bit critical of, and the Maverick as well. For Rogue, they just want to establish some control. Consulate, very difficult to establish control in a lot of areas on the map, so they pick admin. Admin office is a great place to start your clear and take control. It can be difficult to take control of if they hard hold inside of it, as Shuttle picks up his, enables the concussion component of his lifeline because it's prepared to try and deal with players inside of admin, so Rogue have that planned for. One phone call is also going to help Super confirm that there is no one inside admin. They do get some visual signals, but they don't hear that phone call, so they know he's not nearby. He is down below. Obviously, the visual signals tracking through the floor. K2 playing in Visa. Now, this is important. They're trying to roam persistently over all these defenses. Hyper have been trying to roam. They've been getting aggressive, and they've been dying. This time, K2, instead of playing up inside of admin or on the top floor, he's starting at Visa, and as you can see, he's got Jaeger to back him up. Really simple concept in this level of play. You always have someone to refrag. Aroma, there's always got to be 2, so you can at least get that 1 trade and then fall back. But in this case, Rogue have taken complete control of admin, and as you can see, clearing the rest of the top floor now. They can open the admin hatch and look down into Visa. K2 is tempted. He's thinking to himself, as a lot of roamers do, I haven't had an impact. There's only 1 minute down and we haven't stalled them. They've just taken control. I need to find a kill. I need to peek this. He wants to peek up to the admin hatch and find someone. He's not going to. Even if he dies there, it's unlikely that his teammate is going to get a refrag. It's just not an angle you want to be dealing with as a defensive side, so he should be falling off. And this is where I would start getting worried for Hyper, especially now Slash looking to pinch a little bit from Visa. He's playing safe and perfect timing. The defenders default back down. Vigil pretends to try and put some pressure on with that spray, but it's not really doing anything. Now Rogue are in a great position. Top floor, control, and push the roamers back downstairs. But Hyper are in a position where they've gone back to site without losing any players, and this is incredibly important. And here the first kill comes out. We're about to see another one as well. This is a great example of how Hyper are playing more passively but proactively in a way that's enabling them to get kills. Instead of forcing it, they're thinking, okay, we need to find a kill on this roam. We're going to stay, we're going to hard hold, Rogue is going to come to us and execute onto our roamers, and we're going to lose. No, instead Hyper are playing safe aggression. Playing on the spiral stairs. They might get lucky. It's unlikely that you're going to get pre-fight there. If Maestro had gotten droned, he would have run away. That's safe. If he's just playing here, he might punish someone who's being unawares. In this case, it's Slash on the Maverick, which, not a ton of utility loss because the Maverick isn't the most useful in this bomb set. Anyway, we're not going to get to see the second kill on camera, but it's about to happen in just a moment. XTR, the Bandit. Extra, I believe it is. So here we have it. So we can't see this on screen, but you can kind of extrapolate based on what's happening. Extra, at the moment, we can see he's actually playing up in piano, so he's still roaming. We haven't had all the roamers forced back to site because Rogue, they started clearing from the top floor, and then they cleared Visa. They didn't clear the west side on the middle floor yet. They know that Extra is there, that's why they're using this Dockerby phone call to push him out, and the way that they do that, which we're only going to get to see in just a moment, is not very successful. So, Extra there, he feels the pressure coming out from easily, pushing down from upper yellow stairs, and Extra uses a C4 to get that kill. I mean, that's like kind of a one-on-one. Extra ended up using utility to find the kill, but on the flip side, like Rogue also used utility to try and find that kill. They used the Dockerby phone call. It's not as simple as just Extra 1-on-1v1, that's analysis done, because that's not how you play in the competitive levels. The attackers have the advantage of being able to gain information from drones and then execute onto roamers with multiple people. Easily got a little bit ahead of himself. He was desperate for a refrag after losing his first teammate, and he wanted to find this kill onto Bandit, and there's no refrag yet. The refrag is the most important thing, and now Shuttle, desperate for it, starts pushing in from lobby. But meanwhile, we've had 2 players die. I'm going to rewind that. We've had 2 players die from Rogue, and that means that they took control of the top floor, they completely cleared it out, they took control of the Visa, they cut off the Visa stairs rotation, and then they started dropping to these players with their calculated aggression. And because that now Rogue are down on players, Hyper have an opportunity to retake ground that Rogue have already cleared, and that's the most dangerous thing for an attacking side. If you take some ground, and then you think you've got it, and then it turns out the enemies actually have it. So K2 playing here, the only reason he's allowed to now flank is because he didn't contest that admin angle. Now that the attackers are still desperate to try and refrag onto Extra inside of piano, we can see through Anti-Chamber now, finally Shuttle pushes through, and Strage is just looking for anything, but he's already gotten a kill from this position, not wise to keep contesting it. Even though he has an ACOG and a great gun, like Maestro is much more useful on site, but we're in a position now where Rogue have only 1 minute left, and here we see that Eclipse has used both of his smoke grenades. No, you can't have that happen. We lost easily because he was trying to hunt a Roma. He has 2 smoke grenades. You've got a Glaz. Glaz has a bad rifle. Statistically, compared to all the other attacking rifles, it's a bad rifle. The special thing about Glaz is he pushes through smokes. He's excellent at execution. That only works if you have smokes. You've lost 2 from easily because he died trying to clear roamers, and now Eclipse has used both of his smokes, trying to push himself, we can only presume, trying to push himself down yellow stairs to execute onto the bomb site. You haven't even cleared the roamers yet. You only just killed Bandit inside of piano. You're not ready to execute onto site. Maybe now is your time to execute onto site, but you've lost all your smokes. This is looking really bad for Rogue. You're losing all that utility and all that manpower, and to add insult to injury, Hyper took the opportunity to then have a late flank. Drone utility going out now. I mean, it's only so much you can do. You can't force yourself down yellow stairs. I don't know where Hibana's utility is right now, but as you can see, still full Bandit batteries on the garage wall. That means that Hibana can't open it up. But we took piano control. Piano control, the purpose of taking piano control is so that you can open up the floor. You need to open up the floor of piano and take out the batteries, and then you need to try and find picks through the floor, open up more angles so that you can flush out positions at White Van, at the Yellow Pillar, at Pipes, and even inside of Kitchen. And even if Rogue don't know this, they're under threat even if they do try and flush out those positions, because K2 is upstairs and ready to flank onto piano. Really bad position for Rogue. They just don't have anything going for them. They don't have map control anymore because K2's here. They don't have execute utility because Glass is out of smokes, and they haven't opened up the floor. They can't even open up the garage to flush out the players playing at Black Car. Really bad position for Rogue to be in, just on some simple early mistakes. K2 reveals his position, but it doesn't even matter at this point. This is an incredibly smart, notable play from K2. Yes, he missed that shot, whatever. He's now let them know he's up there. Good, because if they know he's up there, and they have a numbers disadvantage, and there's 30 seconds to go, Rogue, at the moment, you're in a position, Rogue, where you're down. You need to find something, anything. Even a pick onto one Roma, that's something to get you the momentum going. You kill the person upstairs and you think, okay, don't have to worry about looking behind me anymore, just focus on sight. Even if we don't have the execute utility, we'll try and add, you've got something to try, and you've also evened up the numbers. But no, K2 hides. He doesn't allow Rogue that opportunity, and that's the smartest, but that's what people don't realize about Roam game. Sometimes the the knowledge that there is pressure is actually more important than that pressure itself. And more specifically, finding kills. See Rogue 20 seconds ago, absolutely nothing. Like, they're trying to hold flanks. They've got Eclipse looking down Z at the moment. And now the Hibana looking to go. Okay, Hibana's going to die because K2 runs out. Like, I mean, it's good, but not necessarily. And at this point, the round is completely over because Diffuse is outside. Even though Shuttle finds a nice shot here, he's dead. So that's the round. Talking about op choices, now we've seen the whole round. There's a Maverick and a Dokkaebi instead of a Capitao. The Maverick didn't work in opening Visa Hatch in the previous rounds. We saw Slasher tried it, but he couldn't make it work. It's hard. I've got to admit, it is hard to open up hatches with Maverick, and this was early on in Maverick's time, so people hadn't really figured out how to do it successfully. Dokkaebi wasn't that useful. I mean, Dokkaebi was used to clear roamers. It wasn't successful in clearing those roamers. The Dokkaebi utility, you could say in admin at the start, did help them know that the Vigil wasn't up there, and it helped them clear that faster. But you know who else could have done that even easier? Jackal. Jackal is the big highlight for me, honestly, for Rogue. I would have liked to see a Jackal and a Thermite instead of a Maverick and a Dokkaebi. Look, even if you don't want to, like, the Maverick is not helping out here. Even if you don't want to bring a Thermite, bring your Jackal and your Dokkaebi. The Jackal would have had smokes like the Dokkaebi, and we ran out of smokes during the round, so that would have been an extra way to give utility to the Glads. Jackal can also control the roamers, and he also has soft breach to open crossfires, especially through the floor. And those three things, execute utility, well, in order, clearing roamers, or controlling roamers, more specifically, watching their rotates upstairs, execute utility, and exposing angles onto the site were the three main things that Rogue were lacking, and a Jackal contributes to all those three. I'm not saying simply playing Jackal would have won this round for Rogue. There were a lot of issues in there, but I think that when you bring the right operators for the job, it makes your work significantly easier. Two key issues for Rogue: containing roam rotations. There's too many solo plays, such as easily pushing down the yellow stairs, and too few crossfires and opening up angles. For example, there is an angle you can cut off the Visa rotate from upstairs in the little room with the desk next to admin office. You can open up that floor. You can at least put pressure onto that flank upstairs. You can cut off that flank as well from the admin hatch if you're watching it. But that wasn't utilized by Rogue, and they let the roamer get back upstairs when they were in two men down. Penetrating into the bomb site was also a massive lackluster for them. They didn't clear out the Bandit batteries, even though Bandit wasn't tricking. They didn't clear it out. They didn't use the vertical plate to expose the site positions, and they didn't effectively use their smoke grenade utility to execute onto site either. And that was the main issues with the Rogue attack.